The debate over Jesus Christ's divinity has spanned millennia, with both believers and skeptics presenting their cases. However, historical, paranormal, and theological evidence suggests compelling reasons to view Jesus as more than just a historical figure, but as a divine entity. Here are 10 reasons that contribute to this conclusion, starting with the historical consensus on Jesus' existence. 1. Jesus was a real historical figure. Most historians agree that Jesus of Nazareth was a real person who lived during the 1st century in Roman-occupied Palestine. The existence of Jesus is supported by both Christian sources, like the Gospels, and non-Christian sources, such as the Jewish historian Flavius Josephus and the Roman historian Tacitus. The fact that Jesus lived is critical to the argument for his divinity. Without a real person, the story of Jesus would lack its foundation. It's also worth noting that the Gospels were written relatively soon after his death, within 40 to 60 years, a short gap compared to other religious figures. For example, the Buddha's life story wasn't fully written down until roughly 500 years after his death. This suggests that the accounts of Jesus' life, death, and resurrection are more likely based on historical events than myth. 2. The Shroud of Turin, new evidence. The Shroud of Turin is one of the most debated artifacts in Christian history, believed by many to be the burial cloth of Jesus. Recent studies have reinvigorated the argument for its authenticity. According to new scientific breakthroughs, researchers have found previously undetectable patterns in the fabric that suggest a more ancient origin than previously thought. This bolsters the claim that it could be linked to the resurrection of Jesus, which would be a powerful testament to his divinity. 3. Miracles attributed to Jesus and the saints. The miracles attributed to Jesus are among the most frequently cited reasons to believe in his divinity. These include turning water into wine, healing the sick, and raising the dead. While many may question the veracity of these miracles, it's worth noting that miracles have continued throughout Christian history, especially in the lives of saints. Numerous miracles attributed to saints, ranging from healing powers to supernatural occurrences, lend credibility to the belief in divine intervention. Paranormal research has gathered evidence suggesting that a spirit world exists which supports the notion of a divine realm beyond our physical reality. Groups like Proof Paranormal have investigated hauntings, EVP recordings, and other supernatural phenomena that point toward the existence of spirits and the afterlife. Such evidence aligns with Christian theology, which holds that Jesus not only entered the spiritual realm, but now resides there as a divine being. Some researchers, including those examining the UFO phenomenon, have discovered that invoking the name of Jesus during alien abductions has halted these experiences. This suggests that Jesus holds a unique power even over non-human entities, which could be interpreted as a sign of his divinity. Alien abductions are typically reported as terrifying experiences, and the fact that the name of Jesus seems to stop them indicates his authority in both the physical and spiritual realms. The resurrection of Jesus is central to Christian faith and a key argument for his divinity. Historical accounts, combined with testimonies of early Christians, claim that Jesus rose from the dead 3 days after his crucifixion. This event was witnessed by his disciples, who were initially skeptical and afraid, but later became bold evangelists willing to die for their belief in his resurrection. The fact that these men were willing to face persecution and death for what they claimed to have witnessed adds weight to the resurrection's historical and divine significance. Fulfillment of prophecies. Jesus fulfilled numerous prophecies from the Old Testament, which were written hundreds of years before his birth. Prophecies such as being born of a virgin, as mentioned in Isaiah chapter 7 verse 14, being born in Bethlehem, according to Micah chapter 5 verse 2, and suffering for humanity's sins, as described in Isaiah chapter 53, are all found in ancient Jewish texts. The precision with which Jesus fulfilled these prophecies suggests that his life was part of a divine plan orchestrated by God. 8. The impact of Jesus on history and culture. Few figures in history have had as significant an impact as Jesus. Christianity, founded on his teachings, has shaped the course of Western civilization. Institutions like hospitals, universities, and charities have their roots in Christian ideals. More than 2 billion people worldwide today adhere to the religion that Jesus founded. His lasting influence and ability to inspire people across cultures and centuries point to something far more than an ordinary man. Near-death experiences, or NDEs. Many people who have had near-death experiences report seeing Jesus or a divine being they identify with Jesus during their brief moments in the afterlife. While skeptics argue these experiences are hallucinations, the consistency across cultures and religions is compelling. These accounts reinforce the idea of Jesus as a divine figure in the spiritual realm. 10. The teachings of Jesus. Finally, the moral and philosophical teachings of Jesus set him apart from other historical figures. Jesus taught love, forgiveness, and self-sacrifice, not only in his words but also in his actions. His teachings have been regarded as divine wisdom, offering a pathway to both spiritual and moral enlightenment. Even secular thinkers have admired the depth of his teachings, acknowledging their unique impact on humanity. Final thoughts. The evidence for the divinity of Jesus comes from multiple sources: historical, scientific, paranormal, and theological. Whether it's the accounts of his resurrection, new findings related to the Shroud of Turin, or the miracles attributed to him, the case for Jesus' divinity remains compelling for many. These reasons offer a broad and multifaceted argument for viewing Jesus as more than just a historical figure, but as the Son of God.